Hello kids, good morning to one and all. I hope everyone are in the home and they are safe from coronavirus. So in the last class we have learned about what are the features of federalism, definition of federalism, and what are the two forms of federalism there. The best route to have an ideal federalism for the world, for the successful of democracy. So same thing. And also you have learned how the legislative powers between the state, central, and the third tier of the government are being divided. Okay, but all three tier of the government are not interdependent. They are already they are totally independent with each other. Independently, they will function according to its subject. According to its subject, they are having their own authority to take the decision on the behalf of the people at the state level as well as at the central level as well as for the local level there. So in the today's class we are going to learn about how our country. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, I have highlighted a point there. Okay, so how the federalism has been practiced in our country. Okay, you all know after a long struggle in our country, we got the independence in the year 1947, August 15. Okay, the freedom fighters as well as the prominent leaders, they sacrificed their life towards the nation, and by their effort only we got the independence. And also a good what we will tell ideal constitution was been written. You have already learned about constitution in the last class. Due to the long struggle which was happened in our country, we got the independence. Okay, after the independence, the creation of linguistic means language based states was the first major test for the democratic politics in our country. Okay, after the independence, all the nation were been divided. All the nations were being divided under the princely states, and somewhere under the control of many kingdoms, somewhere under the control of the britishers, as well as somewhere under the control of government. So the major task after the independence was to unify the people as well as to unify a country under one administration. It was one of the biggest tasks for the political leaders to handle this situation. So the constitutional provisions are necessary for the success for the federalism, but these are not sufficient. Only constitutional provisions, by giving only provisions, is not a thing to unify the people. But some other aspects are also being there to strengthen the constitutional provisions as well as for the successful of federalism there. So the real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. Okay, how the real success came into existence means due to the contribution of federalism practice. Based on that only, they adopted certain measures to unify the India under one administration there. So the real success of federalism is dependent on democratic politics. Based on that democratic politics for our country only, the federalism was being succeeded. So this ensured that the spirit of federalism, respect for the diversity and desire of living together become shared ideals for our country. So how we can enhance the spirit of federalism, how the respect should be given to the each and every diversity, because different kinds of people were being living, different kinds of region, different kinds of too many languages were being there. So for which language you have to give the identification, for which language, each and everything they are having a little bit complications were been there for the federalism practice for our country, because we have adopted the democratic form of government means the power will be shared among the tiers of the government, because a large country like India, it is very difficult to handle under one administration. Okay, so that is why the constitutional provisions has been given that tier of the government. At the central level, the whole country will be under the control of one administration. According to state wise, the state government will take the initiative step to do the what we will tell administration, as well as the local self government panchayat. At panchayat level only, what kind of facilities you are getting, you all know. Same thing, at this period only we will come to know how the municipalities will work, each and everything. For the successful of federalism, as well as for the successful of democratic democracy for our country, the spirit of federalism should be enhanced. And also people should give the respect towards the diversity, because diverse people, different kinds of people are living in our country, living together, sharing the common ideals. For this became the ideals for the practice of federalism in our country. So the first step towards the federalism is linguistic state. Okay, so through the three major ways in which this in which the federalism was been happened, based on linguistic state, based on language policy, and the relationship between center and the state relation. Okay, so the first one is the linguistic state. Linguistic means nothing but a language state. Okay, so the creation of linguistic state was the first major test for the democratic politics in our country. So many states in our country were under the control of provincial kingdoms. Okay, many kings, many rulers were being there, many royal families were being there after the independence. So all they have to unify under one country, as well as one common identity. Okay, what you are seeing at present, the Indian political map, it was very different when you see before independence. Okay, before independence, India was divided into several provinces there. So it was the one of the major tasks for the political leaders to tackle this situation under one kind of administration even in our country. So many old territories, many old states were being vanished, and many new states were being created there. The areas, boundaries, name of the states have been changed according to its condition and the situation. Each and every aspect, what you are seeing at present situation, the political map, this political map, if you see the before independence, is totally different. Okay, you can't see any Karnataka there, you can't see any Maharashtra there. So based on languages, whatever major languages were being spoken in our country, based on that one, they started creating the states there. So in 1947, the boundaries of several old states of India were changed in order to create the new state. Okay, so this done to the ensure the people who spoke the same language lived in the same state there. So the people they started thinking that if we create the linguistic based on the language, what the people are speaking in that area, let them unify themselves and have a state government, as well as they will merge under the one administration in our country. So in this way they started what they started combining themselves under one nation state there. So some states were been there which was not based on language, so it was based on culture, it was based on ethnicity, as well as geographical area. So some states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. So these are the states where we will see these states are not created based on the language. It was being created based on its culture, ethnicity. Ethnicity means the cultural aspects, as well as the literature, historical background will be there. Na? That we call it as ethnicity, as well as geographical area. So some states were being created. So these states I have told, it is Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. Okay, you can see here. Okay, in the arrow mark I'm showing these three states. So some states were not created based on the language, it was being created on the based on these aspects there. So initially, many leaders, political leaders, as well as the people, they kept a demand in front of the government that we have to create the linguistic form of states on the basis of language was being raised. So what kind of language they were speaking in that area. For an example, Karnataka, at the present, what Karnataka map you are seeing, but the people official language is Kannada. Okay, so the people those are speaking in Kannada, they should have one state. Malayalam, it is talked in the Kerala. So Kerala people combined together, they form their own state. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, the official language is Telugu. According to that one, the based on language it has been created, Maharashtra Marathi. So in this way, uh, the when the demand for the formation of state on the basis of language was being raised, so some national leaders, other national leaders, those were there in our country, they were having one fear, that if we are creating the states according to the linguistic, so it will disintegrate for our country, disintegrate nothing but the unity will be not there among the people. Some people were thinking in that way, but central government took the initiative step and they created, but as a result, when the experience has shown to those political leaders that the formation of linguistic states actually made our country more united. Okay, and it made administration even easier also. Okay, so in this way, in this way we are practicing federalism form of government in our country by creating the states according to the linguistic policy. Linguistic policy is nothing but based on language. Each and every states are being created. Some states are being there, which are not created by the language, it is created by its culture, ethnicity and geographical condition. So some people were been they were having a fear that it may cause for disintegration, the unity will be not there among the people, always conflict will be arised. So in this way they started thinking. So as a result, the experience, when they started creating this linguistic form of government as a linguistic form of states, they got a positive result. Okay, and it enhanced the unity among the people towards the country, and it made the administration very easier when they started creating the when they started forming the linguistic states in our country. So the next major policy what we have adopted for the practice of federalism is language policy. So the second test for Indian federation is the language policy. Our country, as well as our constitution, they did not give any kind of special status for the national language or any other language in our country. So in our country, nearly 1500 languages are being spoken. Okay, so among those 1500, they have to give equal status to the each and every language in our country, as well as the constitution gave the equal status to each and every language there, because totally 1500, maybe it will be more than 1500. So such a different kinds of language people were been living in our country. So what they did, so our constitution makers did not give the identification for any kind of national language. So Hindi was identified as a official language because most of the people, nearly 40% of the people were been speaking Hindi language. So as a result, they found we can make Hindi as an official language for the communication basis in our country. So a demand was being kept in front of the central government that if we made a Hindi as an official language, it will be very difficult for the other people, those were living in our country. So as a result, the other 21 language were being recognized as a scheduled language by the constitution. Even in the state has the each state has its own official language. Okay, they in constitution they have not given any kind of status that this is only our national language. But due to the contribution, due by seeing the present situation, the government has adopted as a Hindi as an official language to communicate with the other countries. but also different kinds of languages were being there in the country. So as a result, they also identified nearly 21 languages which was recognized as a scheduled languages. Scheduled languages means you can see in the 10 rupee note, 100 rupee note, the languages were being written. Okay, so that languages are, we call it as a scheduled languages. You can see, you can check it out in the notes, old note, as well as in the new notes, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, like that. In the different kinds of languages it will be written. So they have identified nearly 21 um, languages, so that they can protect their own languages in their constitutional area. Okay, therefore, there were many safeguards to protect the other languages. Beside Hindi, there are other 21 languages recognized as a scheduled languages by the constitution. So, a candidate, if he want to sit in examines in the 21 languages, it will be available, as well as he can write and he can give the exam, like UPSC exams in the two in their official, in their own language also they can write the IAS exam, that is UPSC exam. One side the Hindi or English will be there, and another side you can see in your own language. A candidate in an examination conducted by the central government position may adopt to take the examination in any of these languages, whatever they have identified. According to that one, they can select and they can write the exam. So states have to their own official languages. Much of the government works take place in the official language with concern towards the state. According to their state, they have adopted the official language for their communication. So unlike Sri Lanka, the leaders for our country adopted a very cautious attitude in the spreading the use of Hindi. They wanted to spread the use of Hindi. So, as a result, according to the constitution, the use of English for official purpose was been stopped in 1965. So, when the central government they passed this law, many of the people, the non-Hindu, the people those were not speaking the Hindus, they kept a demand to continue the English language, so that easily we can communicate with the central government. So the main demand was came from the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu state was the favored of English people speaking elect. They kept the demand. So with that, some other states were been also kept a demand in front of the government that please continue the English language, so that officially we can talk with each other, and we can communicate with each other in a very efficiently. So as a result, by seeing the responded responses towards their demand, the central government agreed to continue the usage of language along with the Hindi for official purposes. Okay, so at present, if you want to communicate with the central government, means you can use the English language as well as the Hindi language to kept your demand in front of the government. So promotion of Hindi continues to be an official policy for the government of India at the central level. And promotion means does not mean that compulsory they have to speak Hindi in the administrative purpose. So it is not that way. And it is imposing that compulsory you have to speak and you have to adopt the Hindi as an official language. They did not said, and they did not pressurize any kind of state government, but the central government can impose the Hindi on the states where the people of speak a different languages, but they have shown the flexibility. Okay, they did not impose compulsory on that states say those were speaking different languages. This flexibility was being shown by the Indian political leaders, helped our country to avoid what the Sri Lanka is facing, like they are suppressing our language, that is Tamil language in the Sri Lanka. No identification has been given, compulsory they have to speak the Sinhala language. So what the situation we will see in Sri Lanka, that situation we will not see in our country. They avoided this kind of situation and they have given flexibility. So as a result, whatever central government exams are being there, UPSC exams are being there, you can give in the different languages, um, based on based on your which language you are speaking. If you are speaking Kannada, in Kannada also you can write. If you are speaking Marathi, in Marathi language you can write. If you are speaking Tamil, in Tamil language also you can write the IS exam, IPS exam, the central government. So as a result, the aspirations, the aspirants, the people, those they were desiring to write the UPSC exam, it became very easier to write the central government exams uh, in a very efficiently. Okay, so the promotion does not mean that central government can impose the Hindi on the states where the other languages were being spoken. So the flexibility, our constitution makers as well as our political leaders made the language as a flexibility, and freely they can speak any kind of language in our country. So by this, the practice of federalism was being enhanced in our country. So that is why we are practicing the federal form of government in our country. So the next one is center and the state election. So relation. Reconstructing the center and the state relation is one more way in which the federalism has been strengthened in the practice. Okay, we will see some federalism is becoming more stronger and stronger when we will see the center and the state relationship between them. A good relation is there. Okay, so power sharing arrangements depends on ruling party and its leaders. Um, and how the constitutional arrangement of the power sharing work in a reality depends on the large extent how the ruling party and the leaders follow this arrangement. Okay, for a long time the same party ruled at the both at the center as well as in the most of the states. Very long period in the long back, the people were we will see in the center also same party was been ruling, in the state also the same party was been ruling a long time, but the state government did not exercise their rights as autonomous federal units there. Okay, so this is meant that the state government did not exercise their right autonomous at the federal units, as the when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties at the central tried to undermine the powers of the state. So sometimes what it was happening means in the central level, other powers were been there, that is other political party, and in state other political party has been there. So they should not misuse their power. So if they are misusing their power means the Supreme Court will interfere in that one and they will control the policy. They will stop the misusing the powers of the government for the central government. Okay. As and when the ruling party at the state level was the different parties that rule at the central level to undermine the powers of the state. In those days, the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state government that were controlled by the rival parties. So this undermined the spirit of federalism. So after when other parties were been coming or they were running the administration at the central level, they started misusing the constitutional remedies as well as constitutional provisions, and they started undermining as well as suppressing some of the powers which was under the control of state government. But we can see a drastic change which took place in our country, took place in our country, and it will the hurdle for the federal form of government for the successful of federalism is very difficult if the central government is misusing their power, because for an example in Karnataka BJP government is there means in central level Congress government is there means between them a mutual understanding, we will not see any kind of mutual understanding between them, and we will not see any good relation between the central and the state. Sometimes they can misuse their power, they cannot maybe they will not give any kind of provisions for for our state, because the opposite party is ruling in our country. So in this way, the central government started misusing its power. So it is very, what we will say, it is very difficult for uh, the successful of federalism form of government in our country, if such kind of powers are being misused. Okay. um, so all this change significantly, some changes were being took place in the year 1990. This period saw a rise of regional parties at the local level. Okay, at the local level means, uh, at the state, one regional parties will be there. For an example, in Karnataka, the regional party is JDS. Yes or no? So that is regional party. When these kind of regional parties were being started rising in our country, uh, we will see a drastic change in the political authority. So as a result, this period saw the rise of national regional political parties in many states of the country. This also was the beginning of coalition government. The era of coalition government was being raised because only one party was not coming at the central government. Okay, the central government was not forming any single party there. For an example, national political parties within Congress, BJP, these are the two prominent national political parties. So, with the help of these regional party, with the help of this kind of coalition government only, they were um, forming the government in our country. This kind of scenario change took place after 1990. The regional political party started rising in the different kinds of states. So each and every people, they started standing in the election at the central level. So as a result, it was very difficult to form a single party in the central government. So it was the beginning, the era of coalition government also. So, since no single party got the clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national parties has had to enter an alliance with many parties, including several regional parties, to form a center. If you want to form a central government at the in the Lok Sabha, to form a parliament to run a government, means each and every national parties, they have to go undergo the some alliance with the regional party. By their support only, the government was being formed at the central level. So this led a new culture of power sharing and respect of autonomy at the state government. This trend supported by the major judgment of Supreme Court that made it difficult for the central government to dismiss the state government in an arbitrary manner. Arbitrary manner means based on the random choice or a particular personal what we will tell, um, imposing their power. When this kind of coalition government was being started at the central level, the central government will not misuse its power to suppress the state government powers at the state level, because these regional parties, they were opposing this kind of policy what the central government was been following. So this scenario was been welcomed by the Supreme Court, and it made it very difficult for the central government also to misuse its power to suppress the, as well as to dismiss the power at the state government. So, thus, the federal power sharing was more effective today than it was earlier year after the constitution came into force. So, before what you are seeing, the central and state relationship was been, we will see a gap. Now it has been, the gap is not fulfilled. The gap has been reduced because due to the constitutional measures and the what kind of federal power sharing we have done at present situation is more effective, which was not effective than in the earlier. Before what we were practicing, the more effective, the more result, more positive result we are seeing at the present situation. So in this way, we are following as well as we are practicing federalism in the three major policy. One is linguistic policy, one is language policy, and third one is the state and the central how the state and central relationship should be there. will be there, how the central government and the state government, they will use their power for the administration. So before, they were central government was misusing the power of the constitution, and they were dispersing the some of the powers of the state government. Some changes were being took place in our country. So as a result, in 1990, we will see the rise of regional parties and the beginning of coalition government. So the national parties have to undergo the some alliance with the regional party, then only they will get the majority and they can form the government at the center. So that is why the Supreme Court judgment, it made a very difficult for the central government to misuse this kind of powers, to dismiss the powers at the state level. So in this way, the federalism was been successfully implemented in our country, due to the federal power of sharing became more effective today than it was in the earlier years. So after the constitution came into force, so in these three major policies, we are practicing the federalism in our country. So in the next session, I'm going to take about decentralization in India. The third tier of the government was being adopted. So what kind in what are the reasons behind why we have adopted the decentralization? What are the basic idea behind the decentralization, need of decentralization? What kind of amendments were being made in our constitution to adopt the third tier of the government, that is local government? When they have adopted, what are the provisions were being given? So each and everything I'm going to explain in the next session. So please remember, they can ask for 5 marks. How the federalism has been explain, how the federalism has been practiced in our country, or describe how the federalism has been practiced in our country. So you have to explain in these 3 points. One will be the creation of linguistic states based on language policy and based on center and the state relation. We are practicing the federalism in our country. So I hope today's class you have understood. If you are having any kind of doubt, just pin your questions in the group so that I will try my level best to solve your problem. So signing out. Have a great day. Bye everyone.